Alright, welcome back to another ARCHICAD speed modeling tips tutorial. Let's get right into it. I've got a building here and I like to add a quick capping on top of all those walls. Quick way to do is use the profiler. So I show you I've got a profile here. I created a capping. Very simple. Make sure obviously this has to be the same length of width thickness as the wall, which I got on 200. Okay, let's get out of this. So what you do is quickly, I've got it all grouped. I drag a copy. There you go. All you have to do is now we go into the wall settings and we change to our profile up here, and we take the capping I showed you before. Make sure you got the right material, which I got on chrome, metal chrome. And if you want to move it to a different layer, just do that. I put it on an extra layer here. Click OK. Now, as you can see, that's the capping straight away. That can happen sometimes. It's the difference of the construction line. So go up here, just swap it over. There you go. Perfect capping. Alright, all the way around, very easy, very fast. Now this here, I can fix this up. What you can do is, you take this, make sure you suspend groups. Alright, that's my capping here. And move it back a bit. And what I do is, I just draw one here, like that, go in there, and all the way back. Alright, let's have a look. There you go. Perfectly around the corner now. No problems at all. See? Alright, that's a very quick way to do a capping. Let's get to the next one. Alright, while I've got this open, another good way to show you is the working section tool, which I use this quite a lot. See, this here is a random facade part. So it's not just copied up, it's pretty random. So what I did is, I used my working section and I'll show you what I did first. Let's just take some of those, start it up with that. They're just slabs, pieces of slab, okay? So then all you did is, because I'm in the elevation, I just drag some copies up. Okay, take a smaller one, very simple, drag it up. Maybe this one, say, oh, I want to multiply this, and 3 times. Oops, don't need that, don't we? Well, then you want pick path, we don't need it. And you go up. There you go. Then you take this one and you continue. Maybe next one we make copy, and then you just, oops, I wanted to have a copy. So what you do is, you can easily obviously stretch them down, to a different size. Do another copy, another size again. And then the next bit, as example, we want just 2 of them. And then you keep going. So it's a bit tidy to do this, time consuming, but it's much faster than when you do it, if you try to do it obviously on the ground floor, copying it up. So that's a pretty good way to do it, using a working section. Let's go into 3D, I'll show you this. There you go, we started up quite nicely. So you just copy that up, it won't take too long, and it looks quite nice and very random. Alright, I had some people asking me how to do a door in the curtain wall, which is really simple actually. What you do is you select the curtain wall, you go and edit it. There we go, edit, and you go to the panel and you select the panel. Over here, gotta select this first. There you go, panel. And you can choose here a door or a double door. Let's do a double door. And you can obviously change all this. We go in here, door settings, and then you just click through and adjust whatever you want to. You know, let's go here, subframe, middle joint. I just leave it for you now. See, there you go. You can even choose some grid door in there, and leaf frame. Just make that 20 because we already got the frame really there. And just like the normal doors, you know, handle, put a handle on. There we go. And you click OK. There you go. All right. No time at all, you got a door in there. Make sure you obviously exit the mode, and there we go. Beautiful. All right. All right, let's get to the next one. I've created a terrain for you here. I'll show you. Very simple pathway, curb, and there's a crate which I like to cut now. And I want, you know, if you want to add some trees as example. The crate is just a simple library part you can find inside Improvements, Park and Street. Okay, first bit we do is we copy this crate along our pavement. I will take spread it by 5 meters. I want to pick a path and I want to rotate to path. So I pick a path, this one here. You know, stay on the path. And then, as you can see, you can rotate that nicely. There we go. So you see it's nicely along the path, same distance. All right, let's have a look. 3D. Obviously, we need to extend the other ones. So let's just go to the objects, select them all, and we make them, let's make them like 5 meters tall. As long as it sticks out, see the last one doesn't stick out. Let's just extend that a little bit further, make that one 6. All right, so they're all sticking out now. I use my solid element operation. Targets 9, yes. Then we choose our pavement. And from here you gotta choose intersection and execute. Alright, so as you can see, all the crates are nicely cut, but obviously we need a hole in the pavement. Otherwise this won't look very good. Now, you can't just go and cut a hole, unfortunately. I'll show you quickly. Let's just do this. Because as soon as you cut a hole, because you use this in the solid element operation, you will lose the, you know, the solid element operation. So you can't do it that way. So what we have to do is, let's just undo this step again. We copy the pathway. Okay, as you can see, this one is on the cutting element operation. So this pathway, I move on to pavements. So I can drag this back. So I got 2 pavements now, one on the pavement layer and one on the cutting element layer, which I used to cut the crates. So if you go back here, and I've got a layer selection here. If I go export, it will turn off my cutting element layer. So if you go now and cut a hole in, make sure you're in the roof. This will work because that's not the, so I have to go back to my export. Because this one now is a copy of the pavement and it's not the one I used to cut it out. So if I now nicely go out here, then you can see, if I go to my 3D, it's perfectly cut out now. See? There we go. Now we have to do this with all the next one. It is actually not that hard because you can copy that hole. This way it's only the hole selected and not the slab which I used as a pavement. So we go there. Alright. And we keep copying. I'll speed this up for you a bit. Alright, that was the last one. Let's have a look. Turn my layer off. There you go. Beautiful. All cut out. One more thing to do, obviously, because you don't really want a hole down here. So, what you do is, you take this one again and you make a copy. And to be honest, I should have done this before because now I have to delete all those holes quickly. Let's remember, do this before, okay? And all we have to do is we drag it back. We give this a different material. I put it on a mulch material. There we go. And we go export, and obviously now this is still on the same height. So take the mulch and we move it down by 20. There you go. No more holes. Alright, I think that looks pretty cool now, and it doesn't take long at all to produce those crates in a sloping pavement. Alright, so let's place a tree quickly. Just go into the objects. I got my tree here, and we place it. Make sure you place it there so it always goes on the height of the pavement straight away. There we go. One more, and we have a quick look. There we go. I think that's pretty good. Quite nicely done. And obviously turn that layer off again. There we go. Alright, let's go to the next one. Okay, let's move on to the next tip. This is, I got some columns here, and I like to show you just a simple trick. They got different materials, so to easy select each material, you probably know about finding it, but there's one little trick you might not know. Let's just go here to columns, and we add a surface, and now to get the surface you want, all you have to do is you can pick it actually, see? You click here, and then we got exactly metal iron, or you click again on this one, and it swaps to metal copper. So now I select those columns, or you pick it and then you select the other columns. So using the picker, you know, if you have a bigger list here and add different stuff to find something, to select something, so that picker is very useful. Okay, so let's close that back, and we move over to what we got here. Oh, that's right. So I've got 4 columns here, and I like to show you just a very simple shell trick. Let's draw a shell, and we go this way. All right. What the trick is really, because a lot of people don't know that, you can actually just, with this one, it's quite simple to produce a quick sail. So if you do this, we move that up a bit. Let's move it up to that height. And if you click in this arc now, you can just get rid of it. Click again there, and then you can start moving this up. Quite simple. There you go. A little bit on that side. And as you can see, we produced very quickly a sail shape. Okay. One more bit is you can cut a hole in this again quite easily. Let's do a polyline and make this a little bit round. Doesn't really matter, I just do something. There we go. That'll do for now. So what you do is you select the shell and you can then right click and we can choose create hole in shell and use the magic wand tool, and we got a hole in the shell. There you go, beautiful cutout. So that's very simple and quick to do. Alright, what else have I prepared? That's right, let's have a look at this one. This one is has to do with, again, changing stuff that is, as example, you got all those different windows here. Okay, let's go this way. You can actually select them all together, even though they're totally different windows as mentioned. And we can add, as example, a sill. You go here to the sill option, add a sill, click OK. And as you can see, I got a sill at all the windows at once. So it doesn't, you don't have to go particular window shape or, you know, and have a look. This is a double window as example, and this one is an archtop window. So it doesn't have to be the same type of window to change certain options in the window. You can't change the size obviously, because then it will be all the same size. But do that again, I can click on those. I go into my windows and let's just say instead of the sill surface is this one, let's just change it to that one. And it changed. Or you can easily change the sill itself to maybe a brick sill. There you go. Okay, so I think that's quite a neat trick, which speeds up again your whole modeling process. Okay, all right. We got here just something simple again. I've got some, maybe we should go to perspective view. It looks a bit nicer to show. Just some simple beams, and if you want to cut them along like a spline, you can do that quite easily. Just select and you go to reshape and we adjust and you click the spline. There you go. So that's, again, it's very simple. A lot of people don't know that you can actually do that this way. Okay, so that's another little trick I've got up my sleeves. And what we got here? Oh, that's right. That's the last one for today. This has to do with creating a sloping road. What I did is I started this drawing with a wall. I'll show you quickly, just simple. It's 5 meter thick wall. The height doesn't matter for now, I'll show you in a moment. And you just draw a wall shape. I might do this again quickly. Let's just draw it this way and this way. Of course, the reason is I do that, I have the exact thickness of my road, because if you have the mesh, as you know, you gotta click along here, right? That's example, finish up there, but then it is very hard to obviously have the exact distance. So what we do is next, we could just click along here, you know, go to the corner again, and so on, but there's a much faster way. So let's just delete this for now. Don't need that anymore. What we do is, you can't, sorry, show you please, if you want to do the space click, the match tool one, it doesn't work. It doesn't go all the way. See, it only goes by pieces. So that's why you got to use this trick. So we take the walls and we again reshape and we explode into view. We don't need the originals. Okay, this is exploded now, and as you can see, we got here some fills and lines. So just take the fills, delete them. If I now use the mesh, space click, voila, easy. That's our road shape, nicely 5 meter wide, Okay, so the next bit I like you to show is obviously this is on 0 level at the moment, and I want to make this, let's make it 6 meter high. All right, show you maybe in the ground. So you see that's 0 at the moment, but let's put that one on 6. And so this corner on 6, and we go back to our 3D. All right, so how do we get this now nicely sloped all the way down to 0? That's a very simple trick. You gotta go from the perspective view into the isometric view, and then you use this tool here, which is looks to perpendicular of clicked surface. So I click here, click on the side, and now we're looking at this side on. So the next bit is I will move one of my points up first, and you can see all I do is try to, you know, put that in line. So what you do is, it's just by eye. You will see in a moment, it won't take very long, because there you go, see? Go this maybe a bit higher, and let's make this a bit lower. This one seems a tiny bit lower too. Move it in a bit. As you can see, and we go there again. So that's by eye, you know. I mean, I can keep going a little bit more to make it really exactly so, but that looks already pretty good. So if I go now and move the other sides up, click in here, and obviously you can get them to this side to have the exact same height. See, I'm going over there, and I'm going over there. So if you look now, that is pretty nice. And that's just quickly done. Now there's another way to do this more exact, which is, let's just go back. Let's just do it on those steps here to go all the way back, or you know what, maybe easier to show you that. Let's put them all on 0, apply to all, be back to 0. Okay, so what else you could do is you can use a roof. So you take a roof here and just start this one going that way, all this way. Okay, don't really need all this, so let's just get rid of that. What we got here? Yes. All right, so simple. We start with the roof. You take this and you move this down, and we move this to, all right, there we go. We move this there, and obviously the next bit, I gotta make sure where I'm here. Yes, I did the bottom, so you do the same here. Go into perspective, it's a little bit easier, and we take the bottom and we move that down to there. Let's have a quick look. Alright, it would be good for me to actually put that on a nice slope. So there you go, that's what I wanted to do. And now obviously, as you can see, you can now go there, and we go back to isometric view, and I like to look at this from the side again. There you go. So now you can just take those Z and you go this way. That's very exact, obviously. So you go there, go over here. Okay, let's do this one. All right, so you can see what's happening here because this is round. So we have to go and move this way. And we gotta move the other ones up, that's why it looks a bit funny. This way, this way. Okay, so you can see that's pretty good. It is obviously that's the way geometry works. So if you go here and you look at this, side on again. We got here, side on. You have a little bit of a discrepancy, but that has to obviously because it's curved. Okay, this goes a little bit higher. That makes sense. That's just the way it is. But this is another way to actually make it quite nice. So if you take this now and delete, as you can see, that looks pretty good to me. Anyway, so that's a nice way, a quick way to create some terrains, you know, roads, pavements, and other stuff. Alright, this is it for today, and I hope you enjoyed it, and we see us back next time. Bye for now.